Welcome back to the Plus Money Podcast, your home for the best soccer bets in 15 minutes or less. It is Super Bowl Sunday, and that is the biggest game of the weekend because this weekend it sucks. I'm Andrew Passaro. He's Nick Dianni. Yeah, it's a crazy board. It's a wild board. We have FA Cup in England. We do have one great game. We have the Madrid Derby, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, which will be the main course of this podcast. But other than that, there's no great game in Italy this weekend. Fiorentina Inter on Monday is kind of okay.
Also playing today on
Right,
Thursday.
right,
So
right. Yes, after we tape this, um, there's nothing great in the Bundesliga. The only decent, remotely okay game is Wolfsburg Leverkusen, which we will talk about. Actually, I'm now reminding myself that that Stuttgart has beaten or drawn Dortmund outright 5 straight times. So Stuttgart is the play, but Dortmund
I'm
just got a new manager, and
I'm
and
torn.
hence why I can't bet it. Hence
I'm
why it's
very
not
torn in
even.
that game. Very torn.
Yeah, yeah. Stuttgart have had Dortmund's number, which is why I'm not touching the game. And yeah, there's FA Cup, and the only good FA Cup game is Aston Villa and Tottenham, which are two teams that have burned me more than
Good.
anybody else. Yeah, up there. I mean, Tottenham are in 15th right now. Um, so yeah, the two like the only there's nothing good going on. So everything sucks. Let's talk about Real Madrid taking on Atletico Madrid. Saturday, 3 o'clock. The last 8 head-to-head matches have been both teams to score. The last two most recent games have ended 1-1. The last Atletico Madrid win outright in it's hard to say in Madrid because they're both playing Madrid at the Bernabeu was in 2016, in February of 2016. Real Madrid money line is at -130. You're getting a great number on Atletico Madrid. If I don't feel like you take the money line. I feel like you have to take them Toronto bet, but uh, I, other things I wrote down.
Excuse me.
Mbappe anytime goal scorers +105, which is he's been playing better.
Yeah.
And again, Mbappe's on that list where it's like him, Holland, Salah, Isak, Kane, Gyökeres, Lewandowski. If you get him at a plus number, it's hard. It's hard not to put the slip it.
I agree.
Um, Jude Bellingham score or assist is +150. Has the nose for a big moment in a big
Yeah.
game. Shot on target at -130 has hit in 7 of his last 10 shots, which is very fun. Both teams are scoring over 2.5 even money. I wrote down, and if we're gonna get crazy, Atletico Madrid to score twice is +215. But the bet I like the most, which is hitting 7 of the last 11 Real Madrid games, it's 4-3-3 for Atletico Madrid. Second half most goals +110. Real Madrid's defense stinks out loud. They went to Leganes in the cup, gave up 2 goals. They lost. They exercised demons in that game in the sense that they did lose at Leganes earlier in the season in La Liga. I don't. I think Real Madrid money line at -130 is the biggest trap on the board this weekend of a weekend that is full of
Okay.
traps.
I was waiting to see where you were going because you said a lot of right things. You said the most important thing, and I am always of the opinion, we are big fans of Real Madrid on this podcast. We've made a lot of money with Real Madrid on this podcast. It's very hard for me to see them at -120, which is one of the more playable numbers you will ever get Real Madrid at, especially at home, and not take it. That being said, all the money we made in the past cannot be skewing us when it comes to betting this singular game. And I'm torn. I think both teams to score at the most playable number possible, which is it's like -135. I think that's an absolute must bet.
If that's at
So
minus
that
one
was
thirty five, that might be my favorite bet of the entire weekend.
Yeah, I mean, you said that, so I'm right there with you. Mbappe, depending on your book, he's around 110. You're not seeing that very often. I tend to agree with you there. This is a game where I'm honestly going to take a stab with Atletico. I just think Real Madrid has no defense right now. They're talking about Fede Valverde playing left back. They're talking about Tchouaméni playing center back again. I don't really know who's suiting up for them. You or I might get called up at this rate. And it kind of almost reminds me of like Arsenal from last weekend. It's not the same situation, but like Arsenal needed to win that game against Man City. They came out and made a statement. They've since faltered, but neither here nor there. Atleti feels to me like Real and Barcelona started out red hot. They've faded. Their defenses both don't look really good. Atleti has a legit shot, I think, to do something this year in La Liga. Got to win this game. I don't care that it's away. Plus 210 for 2 goals seems like a ridiculously unfair number to how well they've been playing. They've been scoring a ton of goals and how bad Real Madrid's defense will be lined up for this game. So I am going with them to score two.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm gonna play. Here's the thing. Both teams to score is now down to minus 150 where I just looked. So that's out of the playable zone for me. Um, I am going to take the Bellingham shot on target at minus 130 if it stays there. I'm going to take Atletico team total over 1.5. I'm going to take second half most goals plus 110.
I like it.
And I just found one more plus 210 score or assist, Julian Alvarez.
It's, it's pretty solid.
It's a
I don't know.
it's a
He's been playing in like a weird winger type role the past couple of games, so I don't know what to make of that, but
yeah.
that's a pretty silly
Um
number.
Mbappe is minus 120 score or assist. No,
Uh,
like there's crazy value all over the place, but
yeah, and the other thing I'll say, man, just last one on it is Rodrigo is plus 300 to score. Now I am on a 5 game streak of so Hard Rock in Florida does not have to score or assist. You have to pick one or the other or both. I am on a 5 game streak of picking incorrectly which one he will do. So when I pick for him to assist, he gets goals. When I pick him to score, he gets assists. I've been wrong 5 straight games. He scored or assisted in all 5 of those. But plus 300 to score seems like a really fat number.
lucky for those of you not in Florida on FanDuel right now, he is plus 130 to score or assist.
He's on, I think he's like something like 10 out of 11 or 10 out of 12, something insane. So
Yeah.
throwing that out there.
For whatever reason, Mbappe works really well with Rodrigo, but not very well with Vinicius. It's going to be a problem for them eventually down the line. Um,
We
I
can have
also don't
another
necessarily
whole podcast on that,
right,
but
right, but
I'll
we're not.
reserve my comments.
Yes, we are not. This is not. We're not a hot takes podcast. Well, occasionally we're a hot takes podcast. We're mainly a betting podcast. Yeah, those are the picks for Real Madrid. I don't love a lot of other things in La Liga for the weekend. Could I be talked into Bilbao and over 1.5 at plus 100 at home against Girona, or their team total over 1.5 at minus 122 against Girona? I don't hate it, but I don't. Bilbao has not been as good as they should be.
Yes, one of those teams. Every time I bet them, they score 1 or 0 goals. So
Correct,
I will not rely on
correct.
them.
Yeah. We have a couple things in Italy. Venezia are taking on Roma. I know Roma lost yesterday in Copa to Milan. Big performance for Milan. Santi Jimenez coming off with a great assist to I don't know why he's there. João Felix getting a nice chipped goal. Um, but Venezia are bad, and Roma are playing better. Roma team total over 1.5 was minus 132. Venezia have given up 2 in 13 of their 24 games. And Roma and over 1.5 in the game at plus 100. Again, I'm sure that these numbers have moved since I did my notes yesterday. But if Roma team total over 1.5 is 135 or lower, I would take it. Um, I'll probably take the parlay. I
I
don't
agree.
love it. I don't love it, but Roma are playing better. That's without a doubt they are playing better, and I think Venezia are. I think they're cooked. Like
Yeah,
this is the second time that they've come up. Everyone's all excited because they have the cool kits, and then they don't buy anyone, and they don't do
they
anything,
sold their
and they go
striker.
right back
They
down.
sold
They
their
go right
striker
back
to the
down.
second division.
Yeah,
I don't know I forget how to pronounce his name. Polo Jalalo, the Finnish dude that they had that I think had like 6 or 7 goals for them first half of the year. Sold them to Palermo. So I don't really know what they're doing. I know he's not been good, but Dybala's sitting at plus 200 anytime goal scorer. I just think that's kind of a silly number for by far the best player on the pitch and the guy that will take all of the penalties. So that's a spot I think you could take a stab with. Other than that, you're exactly right. It's Roma and over 1.5. And it still is, I think it's like minus 105 now. So it's still very, very good. I'd be really shocked if they didn't score 2 goals in this game. That'd be a
And
kind of a loss for them.
yeah, oh, I mean, also it's a 6:30 kickoff. I don't know. I do not know what the viewing numbers are going to be like
Wake
for
and
that game.
cash, as they say.
Literally, hopefully, making money in my sleep is my game plan. You've got some thoughts on Parma and Cagliari. A little, I know Parma have been playing okay, but Cagliari all over the place.
Yeah, and listen, here's the thing. Cagliari, it's a really tough place to play. They're out on an island. They have a really strong support, really good fan base out there. It's it's tough to say what's going to happen here, but I don't think Parma should be like almost 3 to 1 underdog. That just seems a little unfair. Plus 185 draw no bet seems like it's worth a shot. I'm going to try to get them on the spread if I can. Double chance is minus 110. I think that's decent. Plus 3/4 of a goal is minus 140. So even if they lose by one, get half your money back. I don't really see Cagliari winning by 2 goals. They won 3-2 in the reverse fixture. I think that was a tough one, but Parma to me just seems kind of like a better, more fluid, higher goal scoring side. And I understand that they're away, but this seems like a good underdog spot in Serie A this weekend.
Also, huge relegation 6-pointer.
Absolute 6 pointer. I mean, if you just want to take the over, sight unseen, like I said, 3-2 last game. So, these games do have goals in them. I think I'm a pretty firm believer in relegation 6 pointers can just be blindly bet to over 2.5. So that's sitting at minus 130.
Oh,
Not bad.
you sold me on that one. I'm in for that. I'm in for that. All right. I don't have a lot in Germany either. But best game I think is Wolfsburg Leverkusen. Leverkusen, crazy derby by the way yesterday in the DFB Pokal, down 2 goals to local rivals Cologne, who are in the second Bundesliga, top of the second Bundesliga. Down 2 goals at home, came back, win 3-2 in extra time. Leverkusen and over 1.5 in this game is at plus 100, and I also don't hate both teams to score an over 2.5 at minus 120. Three of the last five head-to-head games have ended both teams to score between these two, and Leverkusen and Wolfsburg are both teams to score merchants.
Yes.
So the fact that you're getting it at minus 120 is good enough for me. Wait for lineups, but if you can get Schick, if he starts at a plus number, anytime goal scorer, you run with it. I know he is over 20 goals on the season for Leverkusen. And again, if you can get Florian Wirtz plus 100 or better score or assist, you take it because I think he's got like 9 goals, 9 assists this season in Germany. So yeah,
Is it okay that we say he's the best player in the league?
I've been saying it. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought we were on the same page about that.
yeah,
Yeah, Leverkusen here. This is one of those instances. If you just want to be boring like me, I'm going to take them on the money line at minus 125. That's
yeah,
just a good enough number for me to take by
yeah.
itself. But should there be goals? Absolutely. Should you take some Leverkusen player props? Absolutely. Should they win this game? I think they should. Minus 125 on the money line.
I think Leverkusen. There was a while there for Liverpool where I was just betting Liverpool blindly, Liverpool and both teams to score every single weekend, and I think Leverkusen have approached that, and you're getting that at plus 210 this weekend. Wolfsburg have been a team that are in the both teams to score parlay fairly regularly from the Bundesliga. So, um, and Leverkusen should be in there. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is also like an over 3.5 type of game too.
Very well could be.
Plus 155, which isn't it's good enough for me for over 3.5. We'll close with a goal scorer pick in Liga. PSG are taking on Monaco Friday afternoon. PSG have a all French affair in their Champions League knockout game next week against Brest. And shout out to Ligue 1, shout out to the Bundesliga. They do this thing where if you have to play in the middle of the week next week, the league makes you play on a Friday night so that you have an extra day of rest.
Yeah.
For European fixtures, I think it's a pretty smart thing, especially if you didn't play in the middle of the week. Um,
Italian and English teams way too petty for that shit.
yes, 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 way too petty. It's like how can we shoot ourselves in the foot harder? PSG are taking on Monaco. Ousmane Dembele has goals in 8 of his last 9 games. He's plus 165 anytime. You do have to make sure he starts. But if he starts, that number might drop to plus 150 at max. He's on insane form right now. PSG, a team who refuses to pick out a striker. Um, so yeah, I think that's the play. Um,
Yeah, just
or
riding that. I don't have the stats. Shame on me for how many games, but it feels like every single game that I look at the box score, Bradley Barcola, the plus 225 for an assist. That dude seems to assist every fucking goal that this team scores. So,
yeah, he's the
uh,
linchpin. Like everything, it's like you're Mbappe now.
yeah. So 225, I think, is a strong number for him. This is a tough one for me because of my hate for PSG, but also the fact that I get Monaco wrong just about every game that I bet involving them. But plus 550 seems really, really big considering the fixture congestion of PSG. The fact that they're well, I don't know. Did Monaco get a bye in the Champions League, or are they
No,
in the knockouts?
I think they are also in the knockouts. I think that's
Yeah.
the
Okay.
only
So
reason.
both teams have a knockout coming up. I mean, PSG has the league pretty much wrapped up. They haven't lost a
Yeah.
game yet. I'm wondering how much they're going to rotate, how much they're going to rest. Like you said, definitely wait for lineups here, but I'm certainly not going to go over 3.5 because I don't feel there a need to be. I'm looking at Monaco plus 1.5 and minus 130. I kind of think they
Oh,
keep it close.
I don't hate that at
And
all.
PSG very easily could win by 2 goals. Like, let me not sit here and let my hate blind me. They very well could, but what's the incentive for them to go all out for 90 minutes in this game? I just don't think they have it. I think it's a decent spot for Monaco to keep it close.
Only concern is, and now Monaco are playing at home, but they are playing Wednesday against Benfica in Champions League.
Yeah,
So
I'm wondering if both teams phone it in for 90, or I'm hoping
yeah,
both teams
yeah,
phone it in for 90.
yeah. It's a
So just be careful in this game. That's really my main message.
The FA Cup board sucks. We still have a lot of like good teams taking on bad teams. One of those good teams is Liverpool. They are traveling to Plymouth. And this is my opportunity to talk about two of my favorite guys that coming off the bench that I just want to see do well because I love them. Freddie Chiesa and Harvey Elliott. Chiesa, anytime goal score is plus 155. Harvey Elliott score or assist is plus 105. Anytime goal score plus 200. Um, and then two shots on target. Chiesa is plus 100. This is my favorite bet of this game.
Yes.
Plus 100, two shots on target. He's hit that in the last 3 appearances for Liverpool that he's played more than 5 minutes. The dude is letting him rip anytime he gets out there for Liverpool. I think he had 6 shots on target and 3 shots on target when he played against Accrington Stanley. Mind you, they are like a third division team in the England, but Plymouth are about to be because they're going to get relegated at the end of the year. So, um, this is a big opportunity for him to continue to score. Harvey Elliott, 2 shots on target was plus 260.
He's been so
Again,
good when he
these are
gets
the
playing time. I just don't understand. I mean, I
um
understand it's hard to get more because of who you're behind, but I feel like he shows out every time.
I need him to he played okay against PSV, but
He scored a
he also
goal.
yeah, but he also on the defensive side wasn't the best and kind of was one of the reasons they lost that game.
Okay, that's fair.
So,
Who was
um
is what I was going to counter with, but that's fair.
right, but like again, they had no reason to try in that game. Um so I think Harvey has all the tools. I think he just needs to show the manager he has them, and this is another opportunity for him. I expect to start. I expect Chiesa to start. So yeah, am I taking a risk here on these guys should start, and we don't know lineups on Thursday. I mean, Liverpool are literally going to play in like an hour against Tottenham, so they got to figure it out. But yeah,
No.
you have anything for that game, or you just
I don't, but my best bet of the FA Cup is Leighton Orient plus 1700 against Manchester City. No, kidding. No, the only thing, FA Cup is tricky. I mean, some weird matchups. I'm just wondering out loud why Man United is minus 320 against Leicester. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Man United shouldn't be minus 320 against you or I. So
no,
I don't get that.
no, I don't. But I also don't think it's funny because like I think the game's at Manchester United, which means it's an opportunity for Ruud van Nistelrooy to try to like stick one over the club that didn't give him the job.
Wish you would.
Um, right. I doubt he can do that, but you never. Uh, Ruben Amorim has lost an absurd amount of home games at Manchester United this season. So I don't know.
Like he has to be sabotaging on purpose.
Well, I think he wants to just get rid of the whole, like a majority of the guys in the squad,
That's what I mean.
and
Like he has
yeah,
to be doing
yeah,
this.
and he's just like these guys suck. Also their squad, them and Everton are in a competition of which which of these guys was bought by a manager that hasn't been here for 3 or 4 years. It doesn't fit the system of like the last 2 or 3 managers, but we just can't get them off the books because we gave them way too much money that no one else in their right mind would give them. Is literally how I would define United. So they just can't get guys off the books. I mean, the video or the photo of Marcus Rashford showing up to the Aston Villa shirt presentation is the most like it's not. He does not look well. And it's like,
Scotty said that last night. He was like, he looked like he'd been out boozing for like a week straight and just showed
yeah,
up to the photo op.
it, that is, yes, that is an accurate assessment right there. Um, so yeah,
Sorry, I
FA
don't have a
Cup.
play in that game for anybody. I just wanted to point out that United's minus 320 and that's silly.
It is. I don't trust Leicester. I don't.
No, sure,
I
but
don't. I don't. But yeah, I don't know. They got that crazy win against Arsenal. I do think if they were smart, they'd be taking this really seriously, and I think that's the books protecting themselves. Um, I don't love a both teams to score parlay. We've talked about one of these games, but Wolfsburg Leverkusen in the parlay, Brighton Chelsea in the parlay,
yes.
Villa Tottenham in the parlay, plus 227.
Yeah,
It's
there's not a defense between those six teams.
no,
So I
no,
like it.
yeah. And Chelsea, as good as they are, and as many, all the millions they've spent, still not an elite side. It's
No,
they'll
I
win
dig that.
Conference League though.
Listen, I think that's a good play. I just want to anecdotally throw out Everton, hottest team in England right now, plus
Watch
180
yourself.
to
Watch,
Bournemouth. Hey, facts are
watch
facts.
yourself.
Facts are facts. Um, what was the other one that you mentioned? Tottenham
Aston Villa.
and Villa, and then also Chelsea, Brighton. Those are two games I at just very high level think that you could take a stab at going to penalty kicks. I
Oh
think,
yeah.
obviously there's a slate of what 30 games in the FA Cup this round or whatever it may be. Those are the best matched up teams I think in the round, and the ones who have some incentive to take it seriously, have some incentive to rotate. We don't really know what's going to happen. Like take as an example, you can get my numbers might not be exactly right, but it's very close. So like the Tottenham
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa game to go to penalty kicks is like plus 600. But if you took either team to win in penalty kicks, they're both sitting at plus 1400. So you could take both of the teams to win in penalties and get an extra, it's essentially plus 700 for either result. So just be on the lookout for weird stuff like that. I think that those two games are games you could take a stab with a team to win on penalties, and you're going to get it for plus 1200 or better pretty much in any game.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then we're back with Champions League next week, so it's all happening.
Can't
Thank
wait.
you thank you guys as always for watching, for listening. If you are watching on the YouTube, please go hit that subscribe button wherever it is. It's down there somewhere. I don't. Oh, maybe over here, maybe over there. I don't know. But it's down there somewhere. Go hit that. If you're watching, yeah, if you're listening on Apple and then Spotify, the 5-star thing, you guys know what's going on. We'll be back next week. We'll have more games to look forward to. Hopefully, a better board. And I will be betting the over in the Super Bowl. I will probably tease it down a couple points and add Chiefs money line to that. And it might be my game of the year. Might be my big game of the year. You know what?
Win
I
or
have to
lose
look.
doesn't matter. You
I was
because
thinking. I was thinking about doing an NFL betting podcast for the Super Bowl for on this platform. And if people would want that in future years, let me know. It's not happening this year. I have too much shit going on. But um NFL Sunday is one of my favorite betting days of the year, so I'm kind of okay with the board sucking for soccer because it allows me to have, 30 to 40 units in play uh
there you go.
for the Super Bowl and not be mad at myself about it. Maybe not 30
uh,
to 40, but yeah, you know what I mean.
listen, I do not follow the NFL nearly as much as I used to. I think I've watched less than one complete NFL game this year, right? Like soccer, hockey consume my life. The Chiefs money line seems like the most scripted thing on the planet. I don't know how anybody could bet otherwise. So come back to us next week and let me know if I'm a genius for just giving you Chiefs money line, or
Yeah.
let me know if I'm an idiot. But
Yeah.
Chiefs money line is where my money's going.
People you don't bet against in the playoffs. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. It's
Agree.
why overcomplicate it? Have a great Super Bowl Sunday. Enjoy the soccer. We'll see you next week.